My name is Shafer. So my final product is based on my perspective of designs and kind of structures in Melbourne City. So I took photos of like the Eureka Tower and the RMIT Design Hub and just all types of designs that really captured my attention, and I wanted to capture that and put it in a unique perspective. So that could be lower angles to create power dynamics and symmetry and well, I've always loved architecture and design, and I wanted to show my audience how I perceive those structures and how I just love design and just patterns and recurring like shapes, geometric shapes, symmetry, all that sort of stuff. So I was capturing photographs from a very low angle, and then this created that large focal point and perspective which kind of generates that sense of depth and like curiosity within the audience, and that's what I was trying to capture throughout my folio. So we did many trials. So I would go in the city, take a bunch of photos, and then I would come back home and I would experiment with different ways of how I could edit those photos. So I used Adobe Lightroom, Adobe Photoshop, and I just manipulated the lighting, and I even used effects like overlay to create that transparency in my photographs to show how different buildings interconnect. Yeah, I prefer face-to-face, being with my peers and my teachers, and I love getting that feedback, and I couldn't really get that in isolation, but I was still able to edit my photos and do all of that sort of stuff because I did luckily capture my photos before lockdown. But yeah, I just really missed being in that class environment and doing the hard copy folio.
Hi, my name's Tonala. I did a series of film posters for my media set in Innsbruck. Just like heaps of the comedy movies like Will Ferrell and stuff, take heaps of inspiration from them. And then I just looked at the posters and thought I could give it a go on my own. For example, the movie Holmes and Watson with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, they do a good comedy duo. They do heaps of movies together, and all their posters and stuff they do are really interesting. For the process, I did a bunch of mock-ups of like sketches and stuff of different ideas I had for different films. And the experiments, I did a lighting experiment, which I just played around with different lighting setups and stuff to say which expressed different emotions on the characters or what was best lighting for each and stuff like that. The process at home was a bit harder because of the corona situation, but I just managed it by borrowing a couple of things from school, like the lighting kit and stuff like that. And when we actually had to take the photos, I had to go to different public parks and stuff, which was the only place I could meet up with my friends during the restrictions.
My name is Cartier. So I designed a androgynous design, and it was a jumpsuit, so it was a purple colour, just a jumpsuit with a sheer silk pants and just a one flared sleeve with like a little bralette piece. I think I chose to do androgynous design because it holds like characteristics with individuality and like expressing yourself, and I really think that resonates with me. And in the field of fashion, I like to make sure people use fashion as like expression and forms of like self. So the process, I started at the beginning of lots of market research. So I had a client who I was designing for, so I had to do lots of market research and like just figure out what she actually wanted as a final product. And I researched from like 70s, 80s, 90s fashion and just the evolution of gender fashion, and then slowly developed into my final outfit that I designed. At home it was a bit trickier because it's good to be at school and just bounce off the teacher and be able to make sure my design is like to the highest ability, but it was a bit tricky at home because I had to problem solve a little by myself, but I think I managed pretty well.
I'm Orlando Simmons. So I made like, essentially it's a light box which incorporates as many different light aspects, as that was like my overarching theme. Well, from research I found this like interesting effect with two-way mirrors, and so I wanted to incorporate that with my subtopic of architecture. The process was long because we had to do research and develop different ideas and concepts. Well, during remote learning, the folio was a bit more difficult because we couldn't get like instant feedback for it. However, like we still managed to like pull through. Well, with creating like finals, we got the school to deliver like materials and stuff so that we could create them at home and then bring them to school.
My name's Kelly Roden. So I created an art piece to go into a gallery that was placed into, I created a new hotel, and within that they added in a gallery space to help them after COVID. So then I designed a structure to go in the gallery as the feature piece. What inspired the creation of my design was incorporating the old characteristics and history of the hotel with its new modern identity. So I used different materials like brick with the combination of glass to show the old beneath the new. So I started off with visualization sketches, and then I moved into digital processes using AutoCAD and other three-dimensional programs to build up a model. I manage this process at home through lots of calls with my teacher on MS Teams and lots of YouTube videos to help me learn how to use new programs I hadn't used before.